For most people approaching 60, the question arises, when should I retire? Assuming you haven't already been retired involuntarily. That question invariably leads to a slew of other questions, such as, do I have enough money to retire on? And its corollary, will I be able to afford to eat anything other than liverwurst in retirement? And what is liverwurst anyway? As I was approaching retirement in 2010, I sat down and tried to figure out what questions, both practical and aspirational, I needed to answer to have a rewarding retirement. I then discussed my initial questions with my wife, with friends who have worked in the financial and retirement fields for a living, and with the members of our couple's book club. Trust me, it was more fun to do than reading and discussing our previous book, Dante's Inferno. Based on these discussions and 6 years of experience, here are 20 common questions most people will face in retirement and what you might learn from my experience. What triggers recognition that your life has an expiration date? Early in life, you probably believed that you had endless time to realize your dreams, that there were many next chapters. If you had thought about running for public office, an admirable, even admired goal until recent years, you had probably given up the idea long ago, unlike candidates for the U.S. Senate and the presidency. At some point, usually around 60, most people realize that the next chapter of their life will be the last one. That life is now finite. For me, the trigger was not so much reaching my mid-60s, but realizing that the next roof we put on the house would be the last one we would ever need. A 50th high school reunion with a bunch of old people didn't help any either. When should you retire? Once you realize that your life has an expiration date and have recovered from the panic attack, you will probably start thinking about when to retire. This is particularly true if you have found that your job is no longer stimulating or that your employer is looking to younger people to do the work you used to do. Of course, in America today, it is highly likely that you will have been moved to consulting long before this issue arises. Knowing that you have only so much time left, are there things you'd rather be doing? Do you have enough money to retire? The best time to address this question is actually before you retire, so you can do something about it if the answer is no. You may be surprised at how much you need to maintain your current lifestyle. Financial experts historically suggested as a rule of thumb that you needed to generate 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income for a comfortable retirement. Now, many experts are suggesting that you will need closer to 100%, at least during the early years of retirement, typically for travel. The AARP's Retirement Calculator is a good tool to see how you are doing, and the Employee Benefit Retirement Institute, EBRI, is also an excellent resource. Unfortunately, most Americans are not saving nearly enough for a comfortable retirement. For example, a Federal Reserve Board study found that, as of 2013, the median retirement account balance among all households ages 55 to 64 was only $14,500. Of course, your savings are only one component of retirement savings. It dawned on me very late in the day that the income and potential savings I had sacrificed by working for the federal government were substantially offset by a generous defined benefit pension plan. And, importantly, my pension is indexed for inflation. If you are in the category of those who have not saved enough, taking into account all sources of retirement income, Social Security, pensions, and a reasonable return on your investments, the next section offers some ways to enhance your retirement savings.